if you're watching this, you've probably done a fitness challenge before, or at the very least heard of one.
For sure.
Now, they could be great to kickstart a fitness journey or to get you back in, but there's something that I really have a problem with fitness challenges that people struggle and actually could take them a few steps back. We're gonna talk about what that problem is and how to avoid it so that you can use a fitness challenge to actually kickstart your journey and get you lasting results.
And the main problem is, welcome back to another episode of the BFit Brothers podcast. I'm Victor, and that's Julian. We're here at BFit Miami Lakes, our favorite place to work out, drink coffee, have a few chuckles, a few ha-has.
Make fun of everyone.
Yeah, including ourselves, really. We're the butt of the biggest joke. So today, we're going to talk about fitness challenges. Obviously, we're big proponents of them. We do them twice a year here at BFit. And we like them because, like you said, it's a good way to kickstart your journey, especially at the beginning of the year, after summer, when people have been slacking, they've gone on too many vacations. However, like you said, there are some caveats and some things you need to watch out for.
And if you're watching this right when it drops, first of all, you're awesome. And second of all, you just finished the fitness challenge.
Good job.
That's why the timing of this is perfect. So we're gonna tell you what to do now, because that's the biggest thing with fitness challenges. It's like, okay, it's over. Now what?
Now I'm left here in the dust by myself. What am I supposed to do? Also, if you're watching this right now, congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles for winning the Super Bowl. You guys did it.
Fly,
I'm proud of you.
Eagles fly.
Let's go.
So
Fitness
why,
challenges are great.
so why are fitness challenges good?
Well, let's be honest. We all need a little push, a little kickstart. And the fitness challenge I like because it kind of gives you some guidelines and it usually gives you a community to do it with. I think those are the two most important things. You have people going through the same struggle, people going through the same challenges that you went through. So not like physical challenge, but like struggles. And it just gives you like a kind of a timeline, which I think is huge for people. We know people perform well, like, oh, by February 14th, you got to get all your shit together. And fitness
Deadlines,
is
yeah.
Yeah, fitness is not something that you can procrastinate. Like, oh, on February 10th, I'll work out 5 times and it's something that builds up over time. So it's really a good way to like test the BS of whether you're actually training or not.
Yeah, by the way, we did a whole podcast on like the benefit of a fitness challenge. That was, I don't know, weeks ago. Just go dig if you want to actually get into the benefits. But I just wanted to start with, before crapping on it, I wanted to just talk about it. Yeah.
We're going to solve these issues.
Yeah, for sure. But I think what we said was that everything that is required to maintain like a fit lifestyle, that's what a challenge gives you in like in a sprint,
a little bundle.
Exactly. So it's the accountability, some sort of guide or what to eat, what not to do, what not to eat, and then the community, the accountability, all of that stuff.
And the competitive spirit.
The competitive spirit is huge, and the gamification often is what they do. And some examples, we do 2 challenges a year. Of course, for some reason, the only one that comes to mind is 75 hard. I guess it's just because it's
the most popular one.
I guess. Are there any other fitness challenges that you guys know about? Is Whole 30? Is that that's not a challenge, right? That's like a thing. No.
No, I know you eat Whole Foods. I know.
Yeah. But there's a lot of them out there. A lot of fitness influencers do them, and the premise is pretty much the same. Now let's talk about what the problem is. We're gonna go straight into it, baby.
Okay, let's do it. I love that. See, that's why I like this podcast. No fluff, unless it's jokes. Straight to business. And what would you say is the biggest problem when it comes to these challenges?
I think it's obvious. I think most people are probably like, yeah, I kind of know what it is. And that is you go all out, you really try your hardest, or even if you mess up a little, it doesn't matter. You see great results often if you maintain the full time of the length of the challenge. But then what happens as soon as the challenge ends? It's this mentality of I need to do this till X day, and then
I'm gonna go hard on my ice cream. And
then I'm just gonna. That's what happens is that whether it's conscious or not, and we're gonna talk deep into the psychology of this, you're going to revert back to your old habits, ditch the guidelines of the challenge altogether, and not make this a lasting lifestyle as it should be. We're gonna argue that it should be, and it becomes just this 30-day thing that I did and it was great, and then now 2 weeks later I'm right back to the habits that I had before the challenge.
And why do you think people change so precipitously from the guidelines to their regular lifestyle?
Because when you're restricted for a long time, you have this tendency to want to revert right back. It's everybody knows, everyone that's done something strict before, like you can't wait.
Yeah.
It's like the kid who had strict parents that goes off to college on their own. Like usually those are the ones that get a little...
Like drinking a lot.
Leave it in. They're a little crazy and unhinged.
So I like to compare it to like a sprint. Like you mentioned, it bundles the fit lifestyle into a sprint, and it's just like a real sprint. Sprinting is exhausting. You do it for a very short amount of time, But then once that time is up, you're burned out. So I'm guessing these people's energy is burned out. Their what do you call it?
Their willpower
willpower is burned out. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna revert back to, and probably even worse sometimes. That's the real problem.
Exactly.
That's where things are really dangerous.
Yeah, because let's face it, the reason we were doing the bad habits to begin with is because they feel great, they're
good.
Delicious, they're like you're eating the food that's like really hyper palatable. You're doing the behaviors
that are
basically easy and just lazy.
Yeah.
And that's just like, if you're not careful, you will slip right back into that. And I think whether it's like an all-out binge or it's gradual, I think for people like me, it's a little bit more gradual, and we can discuss that. But you will go back because, again, it's like the path of least resistance. Like, it took a lot of effort to do the challenge stuff.
So I think people that take these challenges pace by pace, step by step, usually tend to last longer and do better, because we see it here. We do 5-week challenges. By the 5th week, the people that started super hard and intense are usually burned out by the 5th week.
Yep.
So once the challenge ends, they're even more done. They're like, okay, I'm over this. Like, I'm going to go hard on the food, the drinking. I'm going to slack off at the gym. And we see it all the time. We see it after that, our summer challenge. As soon as it ends, that next week, the gym is dead.
Yeah, this is something like, I guess we might as well segue into one of the things that I had a little debate with some of the people in our challenge, because it all starts and ends with your mindset. We always talk about this, but if throughout the entire challenge you're daydreaming about I can't wait to have my ice cream again, I can't wait to have my wine, I can't wait to have these things, I feel like you're setting yourself up for failure, because you are aware that you're restricting these things for a temporary time, but then after that, then I can't wait. So if that's your mentality, that you're so excited to do something, of course you're gonna do it after the challenge. Whereas I think that the right way to do a challenge is to understand that, yes, I'm learning these things that are a little extreme for a period of time, but what I'm really doing is I'm trying to build a lifestyle through better habits. Now, that doesn't mean I can never have wine again, I can never have chocolate ice cream again, but you got to understand that desire that you have, like that you're salivating over something, like you should dig into that. Why is it that I'm so dependent on these things that I know are not good for me, and then figure out a way to not be so dependent, so that you're not doing it so often after the challenge ends.
And we talk about it all the time. We've mentioned a few times that if you're sleep deprived, you crave more sugar, more foods high in fat. So like you said, it's really about determining what is making you tick and what's making you want these things, and how you can kind of balance it out. Because we know it's a little extreme, but that's the whole point, is to be a bit extreme and learning what I can do, what I can pick up from these challenges that I can incorporate into my daily life. Not just, I do it temporarily, then I go back.
Exactly.
And I do this roller coaster of challenge, non-challenge.
But that's a mindset thing, right? The difference is saying, I'm going to go really hard for 6 weeks. The different lifestyle is, I'm going to become the type of person who exercises and eats relatively clean consistently. Like this is, one is a lifestyle mindset, and the other one is a quick fix. I'm going to get fit for this cruise, and then all hell's going to break loose.
We know how that goes.
Yeah, and we've said it before, but the yo-yoing is really bad for your body. It doesn't like to gain or lose, rapid amounts of weight in a short amount of time. So again, I just think it comes with that mindset of, yes, I'm doing these lifestyle changes, but they are lifestyle changes. I have to make it a point to eat more veggies, more protein on the day-to-day, whether or not I'm in this challenge or not. Yeah,
and it's little things that you're gathering and you're putting into your fit lifestyle book bag.
Exactly.
It's like, I'm collecting these little behaviors that I'm going to build up over time, not, I'm just doing this for the time being so I can win the challenge, then I'm going to go do whatever I want. You're trying to build these little behaviors, whether it's working out consistently, or it's dropping a high sugar, food that's high in sugar, or it's eating out less. These are things that you're gradually building, and over time, like picking and choosing like which ones I can sustain, as opposed to just going all out and like then dropping it.
Yeah, and to give credit to some of our members, because we've had all our members here, most of them have been coming here for a long time, so they've done multiple challenges. Some people have done their 5th, 6th challenge, and to their credit, a lot of them have picked up and put the little lifestyle habit in their book bag. Like I know people that used to drink alcohol a lot, and then after a specific challenge, they were like, I got used to not drinking, so now I don't drink that much. Boom, you pick that up.
And I feel better.
Then on the next challenge, it was like, I started eating more protein. Boom, put that in the bag. And each challenge,
they're actually talking about yogurt, and now I like yogurt. I'm a yogurt person. So
every challenge, they've picked something up. Now, are you going to change your entire lifestyle after one challenge? Unlikely.
Yeah.
But I love that. I love that they had the patience to little by little pick something up, take it, because this takes a while.
And that's how a lifestyle change is. It's not like from one day to the next, unless you have a health scare, unfortunately. it's not like, oh, I don't eat sugar anymore. Like I'm not like it's these things take time. These are kind of addictions. Like is what they are. The sugar, the staying on your couch, being lazy. Like those are addictions that you're trying to battle. It's not as easy as, oh, I'm just not gonna eat sugar anymore. Like these things take time. So like you said, 5 or 6 challenges pass. You collect one little tidbit from each one, and that kind of accumulates into a healthier lifestyle.
But I think it's something that is important to talk about, because in this day of, how many transformation videos do you see on social media, where somebody was like severely morbidly obese, and you see it, they record it, and kudos to them. It's amazing to watch. Like in 1 year, I dropped 150 pounds. I changed my entire life. I cut everything cold turkey. It's like, that's great and all, but that is not the norm.
No.
The average person is not going to stick to something like that. And like you said, maybe it takes a health scare. You had some sort of you ended up in the hospital, and it's like, hey, you better do this or you're going to die.
Yeah.
Most people listening to this are not in that position. So you have to understand that,
luckily,
this is going to take, just be patient with it.
Absolutely.
One of the things I wanted to discuss is one of the reasons why people crash and burn or go really fast and then drop everything in fitness challenges, and a different method to change that, right? So what happens with the fitness challenges, people are highly motivated to do the challenge, right? It's exciting. It's like a dopamine rush.
Yep.
I'm going to do this thing, I've been eating like shit throughout the holidays, so let me go all out, and it's exciting, right? And that's motivation. Motivation is high. But as we all know, motivation fades. Yeah, it's fleeting. It always fades, right? There will come a time where you're stressed and whatever, and you want to eat the ice cream, you want to do all the stuff. So instead of relying on motivation, we rely on systems, right? Systems means I work out every day, or let's say 4 times a week at this time, whether I feel good, whether I don't feel good, whether I have that's a system. Or I go grocery shopping on Saturday, I meal prep on Sunday, I have my lunch prep for the week. That's a system. That's not motivation. Motivation means I feel like meal prepping today. No, because guess what? You're not gonna feel like it half the time. So my point being that a challenge will help you develop systems that if you continue doing these systems, then you don't have to rely on motivation. Because that's a losing battle.
100%. Like we just said, motivation comes and goes. But if you set up those systems in place, you're just, like we always say, I'm the type of person that lives this lifestyle.
Exactly.
The same person I discussed a few podcasts ago that is going to medical school and has a job and has a kid, they posted on their lunch break, the only time they have, because it was school, take the kid to school, lunch break on the treadmill, running a 5K. I'm like, Jesus, like, that's admirable.
Yeah, and you got a question with people like that, like what is driving them?
Yeah.
But again, you don't have to be that extreme and hyper efficient. I believe that there's a balanced way to do this. And it all has to do with systems.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that you have to be that extreme. I'm just saying that everybody has things going on.
Yeah.
But it's how you set yourself up to be the person that, we always say, like, to be the person that you want to ultimately be. Mm-hmm. And if that's a person that lives a fit lifestyle, you have to make sacrifices.
100%. Yeah, there's trade-offs.
Yeah. And I think some of those sacrifices are not easy, especially not on paper, but how you feel after is definitely worth it.
Yeah, this example of systems versus motivation is, I think with food is important, because if you're the type of person that is guided by today I feel XYZ, or you didn't go with your meal prep to your office and now you're at the whim of what your coworkers are gonna do, or the worst one, what you're craving, it's like you're cooked, because most of the times
I'm craving a salad.
Yeah, okay.
Karina.
My wife.
God.
I've never said
words have never come out of my mouth.
Never, literally ever. But then there's other people that my lunch is already prepared. I don't have the luxury to think, well, what am I feeling? Yeah. No, I know I got the turkey picadillo and the asparagus that I made last night. Number one, that's one less thing to think about. Yep. Where am I gonna get lunch? Yeah. How much? Do I have time? This and that. No, it's prepared for you. So again, it's just having those systems in place takes away a lot of that decision fatigue, willpower, having to exercise willpower, because like we always say, that's a losing battle.
Another great thing about having your food prepared, like we always say, is your macros. People love to say no, but I ate Subway, but I ate the healthy option. It's like, okay, you don't actually know what you're getting there. Like, you're trusting blindly that these numbers are accurate, but are they really? And we know they're not. We know they're adding sodium to everything. Like, there's a reason that the salad from a restaurant is much more delicious than the salad you make at home. Yep. And it's not because their ingredients are better.
Yeah, absolutely. If you knew how chefs in commercial kitchens cook,
everything was
you'd
butter.
Be like, wow, no wonder that's so tasty. Yeah, butter, salt, butter. Yum. So it's like a cheat code to make your steak, even your steak, more delicious.
Yum. But a little bit of dry skin.
Yeah, I know. I'm a dry boy.
Do you put That's unfortunate. Do you use any cream or anything?
On my face?
Yeah.
What am I, a girl?
You should. You're super dry.
I don't care about that.
But it's
I have enough things to
noticeable.
worry about. However,
Come here. Let me Simba you. Simba.
Is it glowing now? Am
Yeah,
I glowing?
You look beautiful. Like somebody told me yesterday, you bite your nails. Why don't you use that nail polish that doesn't let you bite them? I'm like,
I'll tell you what though, my dry scalp has gotten a lot better with Head and Shoulders.
Yeah?
Of all things, I've gone. You know that
this
midwit.
hold on, this is a Head and Shoulders plug.
You know the midwit curve,
Yeah.
where it's like the midwit and then like the genius and then the bell curve.
You're a nitwit.
No, the midwit starts with Head and Shoulders, 'cause it's cliche.
Yeah.
And then you go through clinical
Selsun
stuff,
Blue.
this, all the crazy shit, the prescribed stuff.
come right back
You
to
come
it.
right back, man. That shit works.
Plus, Head and Shoulders smells fire.
Thank you, Head and Shoulders, for sponsoring this video.
Head and Shoulders for your head and your shoulders. Back to the pod.
Let's talk a little bit about the psychology of the type of person who would join a fitness challenge. Who would you say is like the avatar?
The avatar is a blue, kind of large creature. They have like long braids, tattoos on their skin.
They're big, huh?
Bad joke. Yeah, they're really big. Like 9 feet tall. It's such a bad joke. Might cut it. God, it's
Now
horrible.
you gotta leave it.
Yeah, no, I have to leave it. Jesus, just soaking it. Don't comment on that joke. They can't all be gems, okay? So who's the avatar for a fitness challenge? It's usually the lay person. It's not somebody that already has that fit lifestyle for starters. I think that's the most important thing. It's not somebody that is doing their running on their break or is waking up to go for a jog. I think it's a person that
Which is, so you're saying 90% of people then fit the
go
bill.
for it. Go for it. So I think, everybody needs a little push, especially after the holidays, after
Yeah, it's
summer.
kind of a trick question because I love challenges. I mean, I live a fit lifestyle, but
Yeah, but you're a joke of a person.
Okay.
I think it's good, but you're also a binger. That sounds like
True.
a slur. You're a binger.
You
And,
binge-a?
yeah, you binge. And during the holidays, to be honest,
Yeah,
we
I get
all
out of
go hard.
control.
Yeah, I've seen him throw up because he eats too much.
I spiral.
So we all need that little push, especially people like I like it because I deal well with deadlines and I like to have a rigid time frame. I feel like the year, like life is ongoing, hopefully. So to tell yourself like, oh, it's just something I do every day is much harder than this is something I do like, oh, I have a very strict time to do it. And I think anybody that falls under that, which is like you said, 90% of people.
Yeah, and people who need
use it.
external validation,
Absolutely.
which is
But
most people.
somebody that's like a bodybuilder or that's competing or somebody that does these things isn't really like, wow, why do I need a fitness challenge? I'm already working out hard 5 days a week, 6 days a week.
Yeah.
That's the only exception, which is like 5% of the world.
Yeah, it's a very tiny minority. And then, of course, excluding everyone who isn't even interested in improving their health.
I'm counting
improving
people
their
that
health. Yeah, that actually want to
would
be
want to
fit.
improve themselves.
Got it. Yeah, I think it's also like the psychology would be somebody who like wants like kind of a quick win, you know?
Yeah.
Which all power to them. I'm not like down talking in any
No.
way. We all need a little quick win
kickstart.
because sometimes you're just like frustrated,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Little kick
Why
in the
can't I
ass.
do this? Why can't I do that? So this gives you like a nice, like we said, dopamine hit of the excitement of, oh, this thing's gonna change my life. Because we always hype it up in the beginning, right? We think it's gonna change our lives, which it might.
It's hopeful.
But
it's nice to be optimistic.
but then you want that like 30 days. That doesn't seem like a long time. Like it's a quick win.
Yeah.
And again, we're gonna talk about the right way to think about this post challenge, but it is a good way to like get yourself that quick win to then build on it, not just quick win and all right, I'm out.
Yeah.
Right back to my old habits.
Yep.
Somebody getting towed.
Oh, a kiss.
Better
Oh,
not-
a smooch.
Better not be the EV.
The lady's got a smooch. Wait, hold on.
I'm all about smooches.
She's asking
Ah!
out of the
What
parking
goes
lot?
on here?
I don't know, man. It's a scheme.
And on that note, I think it's important to note if we're talking about dopamine and, dopamine is about rewards, right? Anticipation and rewards.
Can you tell me more about dopamine?
Not again.
Not again.
This will be a third podcast.
Yeah.
If you're getting rewarded for the behaviors you're doing, everything's going great and you've been eating healthy and you're seeing results. But then, as we all know, you will stagnate, you will plateau a little bit. Maybe towards the end of that challenge, like the people listening know all about this, that 4th, 5th week, you start to kind of plateau. As the rewards stop, the behaviors stop. That's basically what they think about. And that's when they just, all right, yeah, I'm kind of done with this.
The Pavlovian dog.
Stops eating.
You're not giving me any more snacks. You're not ringing the bell anymore, man. What am I supposed to do?
Exactly. So now we're going to talk about how to use a challenge and go from challenge to post-challenge the right way. And I think the most important thing goes back to mindset, right? Go from challenge mode to lifestyle mode. This is not just a challenge. There are little things I'm picking up to have this fit lifestyle.
Yeah, and I think that you should look at the challenge as a stepping stone and not just like as a end goal.
Exactly.
So
there is no end date. I hate the whole idea about the challenge ends. So
that's a really corny thing to say, but there is no end date on fitness. Like,
yeah.
It's a good kick in the ass. I think that's a good way to think. It's a good entrance into the lifestyle.
Kickstart is the perfect word.
It's the welcoming into, and it's a pretty it's a great welcome because you have all the checks in place. You have all those little stepping stones. You have your nutrition. You have your exercise regime. You have your community. Hopefully, you have all these things that we know is what it takes to build a consistent lifestyle.
But that's the problem is you take away the community. That's a aspect of the challenge, right? But like we have the community.
Come to a nice place, like
of course.
I don't know.
We have the community, but the average person who's just doing like an online challenge with their favorite influencer, and they're in this little Facebook group, and everything's great, and it's like, all right, that was fun.
Yeah.
See you guys next time.
See you guys next time when you give me your money.
So my biggest piece of advice to, let's say, everyone from our challenge that's just finishing up, like it's right now, if they're listening on time, it's the first Monday, critical time period,
Very
right?
important.
First
of all, don't miss the gym today.
Yeah, exactly. Some of them are like, oh, messed that up already. But I'm obviously going to write this in the chat, so they're already going to know this, what I'm about to say, but it would be have a game plan.
Yep.
Before the challenge ends, not after.
Anticipate. These things will happen.
Exactly. So what is my game plan post-challenge? Okay, maybe you're not going to be as extreme. I don't want you to be as extreme as the last 5 weeks, but you got to have some sort of plan. You can't just give yourself free reins, because that's when it's a slippery slope.
And we usually ask people at the end of the challenge, like, hey guys, what did you pick up from this? What are some things you might implement to your life? And they usually ignore us. But hopefully this time is different. We're always very optimistic that you guys are going to actually pick up some stuff. And even if it's one, because we do little nutrition challenges per week, and hopefully the thing you picked up is, hey, I like tracking my meals. It kind of keeps me in check. Hey, I like eating more protein. It makes me feel more fulfilled. I feel like my gains are improving. So we like to ask, and I think you guys, if you're not doing it with us, you should ask yourself, what are some of these things that I picked up that I can implement into my daily life?
Exactly. Again, it goes back to habits and systems. Habits and systems. I mean, it's really the foundation of fitness and health. And if you could just maintain some of these habits, and let's say, like for example, let's say you don't want to, a lot of these people have quit social media. Maybe they want to get back in. Maybe you don't want to quit something altogether, but like set rules for yourself, Like one of the things I did, and I always go back to alcohol intake, because again, that was my biggest issue, is one of my rules with alcohol is before it was like, if for whatever reason I want to have a beer, I'll have a beer. Now it's like, I need to think about it and consciously make a decision. Is it worth
it? Let me work
it. I put my, Jesus.
Could have gone all the time.
Is it worth like all the negative things of these drinks that I'm about to have, or should I save that for like a special occasion? Or I'm having friends over, we're celebrating something, like the end of the challenge thing. Obviously, I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna celebrate with everybody here, but
and that's what I was gonna say. Sorry to interrupt you, but it's okay that I know you guys are gonna want to have a little cheat meal on Saturday or Sunday. That's completely fine. We're not telling you not to do that. But anticipate that this could be a slippery slope and have a plan
rules.
for after it.
You gotta have rules for yourself. You can't just let yourself have a free-for-all, because again, like you shouldn't trust yourself. Like I know it sounds bad to say. Absolutely not. I don't trust myself. Like put a pint of Haagen-Dazs in front of me and tell me that
I don't buy soda. If I buy a 12-pack of Coke, it's going down. Like
exactly.
I can't.
Just have rules for yourself. And the other piece of advice I would give is either hold yourself accountable or have somebody like us. Like you can reach out to us at any point, not just doing the challenge, but like
even on
if
YouTube,
you see that you're slipping and you're spiraling, it could be 2-3 days where you really can't get it together. You're trying to hold yourself accountable, but you ordered Uber Eats again. It's like reach out, because that is a slippery slope. That means that you can go from, I've seen people gain 8 pounds, 10 pounds in a matter of a week or two because they just spiraled.
It's much easier to gain it than just to lose it.
You gotta have your rule of I never go more than 2 days without working out. You gotta have some sort of rule where it's
never have more than 1 day of ordering out or something like that.
Exactly. You gotta have some sort of rule. If I ate like shit today, tomorrow is gonna be a super clean day. Don't fall into that thing of, whoa, it's Friday. I already messed up, so let me just binge all weekend. No.
The rule that we have, at my house is that we do like to eat out, but now it's limited to once a week. Because
that's a great rule.
You know the dangers of it. Like we know the danger, and it is a slippery slope. Man, it's so much easier to not cook. It's so much easier.
And like if you have kids, it's a super slippery slope, because you want to order pizza. Your kids don't want to eat, necessarily all the healthy stuff that you make. So, in order for it to make it a family night, there's gonna be a lot more temptation for you.
Homemade Taco Tuesday or something like that. You know, it's
Make it fun for them. Make healthy eating
fun again.
great again.
Oh boy.
Maha.
Make the Gulf of Mexico again.
I'm
cutting that. Not trying to be divisive.
It's
you saw Google Maps change it already?
no way.
The Gulf of America?
It's RFK's brain worm that's making him do all these things, by the way.
My brain worm. So I have this worm. I wish I could do the voice better.
Another thing I would say is instead of focusing just on short-term stuff, because challenge is short-term, always have it in the back of your mind that I'm in it for the long haul. I'm in it for the long haul. You know, one thing that I give credit to, I don't know if it's our branding or it's just like the way that we do things, but 90% of inquiries that we get and consultations that we do, we get the right type of person.
Yep.
You know,
it's not I want to grow my butt.
I have my own wedding
Yeah.
in 5 weeks. I need to lose 30 pounds. It's like, you know, we don't get those quick fix type of people. And a challenge is the same way. It's like, yes, it's a 30-day challenge, but I'm in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn these things so that I can hopefully do this forever or for a very, very long time. So just always have that thing in your head. What can I do sustainably? What can I do sustainably? Can I really do this for a long time?
Yep.
You know, and again, I'll go back to my example of alcohol. I tell my wife all the time, am I ready to say I'm going to be abstinent? Never going to have a drop of alcohol again. No. For some people, maybe that's the right choice.
Yeah.
But for me, because I think long-term, I'm like, that's not a good long-term solution.
Yeah.
What is? Well, maybe I could save it for special occasions. Maybe
Exactly.
it's only for celebrations, only when it's something like...
Once a month.
Exactly, once every few weeks.
Yeah.
But not just, I feel like having, or worse, this is my de-stressor. Or after coming home after a long day, a glass of wine or a beer or a whiskey,
That's
whatever.
a slippery slope.
That is a super slippery slope. Because again, it's a habit.
Yeah, and we're going to let you guys peek behind the curtain here for a second. The main reason we do challenges, a lot of cynics think, oh, these guys want your money. It's like, the real reason we do challenges is because we're trying to instill these habits in you. We want to get you consistent. We want to have you, we want to see that lifestyle change of yours. That's really the main reason we do it, is to kickstart that and to hopefully form that habit that, hey, I work out 4 days a week, not 3 days a week.
Exactly. You go from all the struggles that we started the podcast with, all the things that people struggle with, to, okay, now I've learned these things, and then I can hopefully keep some of them, keep all of them, keep a lot of them, and become the type of person, because that's what it's all about. It's the lifestyle. It's becoming a fit person, like we always talk about.
Yep. I have a dry forehead too, by the way.
Okay.
I don't use shit.
Then why are you on me for?
Because you're like, tú te cuida.
I know, but it becomes to the point where you have to do, man. Take your pills, do this, put the Invisalign in, floss your teeth. Like, I'm not gonna have one of those.
Sit there with a night routine.
Yeah, those night routine people on Instagram. Like, come on.
I have very soft skin though. Look, guys, touch.
All right, so to recap and just close this, don't look at a challenge as a quick fix, as a fixed term. Look at it as a way to kickstart your fitness, whether it's starting or restarting or taking it to the next level. Building these habits that you're going to have for a long time, that are going to be sustainable, and that these results that you get are going to be increasing little by little. And there's no end date to it. It's something that you're going to continue doing. So as long as you have that mindset, I think you're all right. And challenges are fantastic.
Definitely. It's such a good way, like we've said it 50 times, a little kick in the ass to just get you going through the door. Because we know starting is the hardest part. Restarting, it might be even harder for some people.
Yep.
You leave, you miss 3 weeks, you come back, you feel like shit. It's easier to be on the couch. This is a great way to implement that lifestyle. Whether you pick it all up or you only pick up a few of the habits, it's still better than not doing anything.
Yeah,
so
and
don't demonize the challenge. Just, let it guide you onto the next step of your fit lifestyle.
And I would also say something I failed to mention, but I think is important too, is that there's nothing wrong with, doing challenges multiple times because you went right back.
Yeah,
this happens to all of us.
I've done the challenge before. Why would I do it again?
So have all of us.
It's the same thing as it's like saying, oh, I tried to ride a bike and I failed. Why would I try it again? You never know when those habits are going to kick in. We had people do 4 or 5 on their 6th challenge. They realize, shit, I'm the type of person that likes to measure my food.
Yeah, we have 2 particularly, they're avid listeners of this podcast that now their first challenge, I remember 5-6 years ago or whatever, they were not workout people, not fit people. They were people that were all over the place. And now all of a sudden these people, their lifestyle is borderline better than a trainer's.
Oh, no.
They track their macros.
They run on vacation.
They run on vacations. They're super fit lifestyle people because they've done an accumulated building these habits little by little.
Picking
So
one up at a time.
there's no shame, because I know there's some people are listening, they're like, well, I've tried challenges before. And see, that's why I don't. No. Don't rationalize like that. It's good for everybody. It's even good for us trainers. Like I said, I look forward to the challenges because I know that I'm going to tighten up a little bit and it's going to help me. Because we all want to take the easy route. We're going to revert to the easy route. Exactly. So don't feel bad about it. It's you're trying to kind of like swim upstream here. So
and get back on the bike, man. If you fail week 1 of the challenge, get back on week 2. It's not that type of thing that I already messed up, I'm done. Like, no, it's fine. Get back on the horse.
Yeah. So I hope this helps. To all of you who did the challenge, congratulations. I know you saw some great results. Guys. And to everyone who wants future challenges, we might have a little surprise for you before our next challenge this year. So
stay tuned. And that goes for everyone, not just people that come here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode of the Be Fit Brothers podcast. We'll see you guys next week.
Hasta la próxima.
Me estoy meando.
I've been an nasty girl. I've been an nasty. Oh, Vic!
Vic, good to see you.